Hey gang, I got some more book reviews for you today. I read 4 more books, and I really had a great time with the books this time. Awesome books. I'll get right to work. The first book that I read was called Confessions of a Gender Defender. It's a 160-page book, and it's written by a psychologist who is a PhD, Randy Etner, a female psychologist. And the book is about her experiences with some of her clients and dealing with some other professionals in the field to help her clients and what she's learned over the years. She's got a really good sense of humor. She's really smart. She's probably one of the most respected gender therapists in the country, if not the world. Really intuitive book. Has a lot of wonderful stories that I could relate to, and some fascinating things that I couldn't really believe. I mean, I believed them, but they were amazing to me. Some of the transgender stories she has. It's an easy read. The sections are short, so you don't have to read it all in one sitting, and you can sit down for a couple of minutes and read, and then you can get up and go. Wonderful book. I got mine on Amazon. It wasn't available on Kindle. I had to buy the paperback, but I would definitely give it a 6-inch stiletto, and that's my rating system. For those of you who don't know, that's the best. And maybe this will give me an appointment with her. She's not accepting new clients at this time. My next review is on another awesome book, but presented in a different format. It's called Transgender Complete, a virtual handbook. And that is 353 pages, written by a trans woman named Joanne Borden. And I got it on Kindle from Amazon. And oh my gosh, this book, I'm going right now, 6-inch stiletto. It is the most comprehensive book on transgenderism, if that's a word, that I've ever read. And I've read quite a few. I'm up to about 20 now. It is just awesome. Now, a lot of the stuff I already knew, so a lot of the stuff, I read through it, but it dragged me down. But it was spot on. I agreed with it. I related to it. And this lady offers her opinions on a lot of things, but they make sense. She researched this information for 4 years. She's like me. She didn't really think she was a woman, and she wanted to know why she felt the way she did. She didn't necessarily care that it was okay to feel the way she did, or that there was nothing wrong with her mentally. She wanted to know why. Why does her brain think this way? So she researched and researched and researched. And I actually believe the biological studies that she brought into this book and shared in this book made me feel like that, what's called the brain sex theory, made me feel that I actually may have a part in my brain called the bed of the stria terminalis, which is a very small part of the brain. They only can look at it after you're gone. They have to cut you open and look at it. But it has been found in trans women to be the same size as in a genetic female, and 44% larger in a genetic male. This is a big difference, and it's consistent. The only issue, why hasn't the world come out with? Why haven't they come out with this is a reality? Trans women have a different brain, because they haven't cut open enough of them yet to make it a valid study. But the ones that they have cut open, it's virtually 100% consistent. Trans women have this part of their brain that is exactly the same size as a genetic woman's, and vastly smaller than a genetic male's. And in trans men, that part of their brain is the same size as in genetic men, vastly larger than genetic women. It's pretty convincing stuff. Anyway, If you can only afford one book, or you only want to buy one book on transgender, get Transgender Complete, 6-inch. Next book is Am I Transgender? A Transgender Primer by a person named A, first initial A, last name Light, L-I-T-E. It's 35 pages long. It was published in 2011. You know, its title is that it's a primer, so it's supposed to be like a foundation or to build on, but it lacked, to me it lacked any real conception. It was very cold, it was very callous, it was very, it wasn't written by somebody that actually, if they were actually transgender, they haven't got a clue how to write or express themselves. Don't buy it. It was a terrible waste of my life. You know, the 35 pages I read in basically one sitting. It was, you know, I really wish I could have those 2 hours back. You know, and went to the bar and had a couple of beers. I would have been more productive than what I read in that book. Okay, it's a flat. That's my rating. It's a flat. Okay. Am I Transgender? A Transgender Primer. Please don't buy it. Okay, the next one and last one is called Transgender Explained for Those Who Are Not. And this is written by a trans woman named Joanne Herman, and it's 172 pages. And it is a really informative book as well, along the lines of Transgender Complete. Transgender Explained for Those Who Are Not is very informative for the employer of a trans person, or an ally of a trans person, but really to explain what a transgender person feels inside, I lost that chapter. I couldn't find that chapter in there anywhere. Basically, when she explained the term as somebody that whose brain identifies with the opposite gender of their body. And that was about as deep an explanation as I could find, unless I blacked out or something and didn't, wasn't paying attention for a couple of chapters. What I did see was talks, some statistics about how many of us there are. I mean, it's possible that, I love these numbers, okay? It's possible that there are upwards of 200,000 women in the United States today, trans women, who have had bottom surgery. Okay, and my personal experience coincided with the numbers in this book of all the women I know who cross-dress and are in my position where we're not thinking about surgery. There's probably 100 of them for every 5 women that I know that have had surgery. Okay, and it's kind of sad because our community, the transgender community, could be as many as 5 million people strong. All right. But the only people that are trying to make any difference, and the only people that are standing up for our rights and trying to get laws changed, are the full-time trans women or the transsexuals who are living as women full-time. A lot of us are hiding in the closet still, and we don't want to make ourselves known. We're not going to go out in public and support transgender because we're afraid that someone, will be hurt by it in some way. When really we're as strong as the National Rifle Association, and they're one of the most powerful lobbying organizations in the country. But I can understand. Well, I'm going off on another video. Transgender Explained for Those Who Are Not. It's a good book, but it isn't gonna. If you're trying to find information on your condition, why you're transgender, it's probably not gonna help. All right, I'm gonna give it a 4.5-inch heel. Because the information is good, it's just not really what I thought it was going to be or what the title says. 4.5-inch heel. Thank you very much for watching, and peace and love to all. Let's try. This is my 5th video today. Peace and love to all, and let's just try to accept one another for who we are.